So, today we're going to talk about chasing your dreams and how nobody thinks it's a good idea, except for you. Well, and except for me. I think it's a great idea. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the X-Felon Hideout. Today is another episode of Mondays Matter, and I cannot believe it. I literally can't believe it, and I'm probably going to say this every single time we reach a new monumental number, but we are on episode 10. I'm so glad we started this. I just also love all the feedback I've been getting back from you guys on Mondays Matter. It really makes me excited to keep making them because it's affecting a lot of you guys in a positive way, and that's what I truly want to do, is to be able to provide value for not just myself for making these things, which actually does, but to also provide value to you guys, which is what we're doing. This channel, we also, just so you guys know, we talk about the games we play, the lives we live, and how we can look for ways to help each other be better than we were the day before. Better than yesterday is the motto. One stream at a time, technically one video at a time too, and one day at a time. So if you feel like you vibe with that, feel like you want to subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel right now. Actually, go ahead and like the video as well. That would help a lot. So I wanted to start off today's episode. It's Monday. Well, not for me. Technically, today is Saturday night at what time is it? Saturday night at 2:30 a.m. I just got off of work. We are at a point now where a lot of you are messaging me. And by a lot, I mean like 5 or 6. And then I also have some more people messaging me from stream, but specifically from the YouTube Monday Matter series. I have quite a few of you saying that you want to pursue something that is more along the lines of your dreams and not so much something that your parents want you to do, or something your friends want you to do, or something anybody else other than you wants you to do. And it's so hard because society is very ingrained in our everyday life of what it looks like to be successful, what it looks like to be happy, what it looks like to be stable. And a lot of that looks like what we would call the American dream here in the States, where you want to buy your own house, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You want to have a yellow lab, 2 kids, a beautiful wife or a hot husband, and, have a couple family cars, your white picket fence. The dad or the mom is a doctor, the dad or the mom is an engineer or an actor, or you have these certain roles, a lawyer, a firefighter, and you have these specific job titles. Now, when I'm talking about these, what I do want to make very, very clear is I have a lot of family who has done very prestigious things and are very successful and are very happy doing these types of jobs. I'm not against these type of jobs. What I am against, I'm against these type of jobs if it's not something that brings happiness and value to your life and your family's life. Now, if you are going to become a doctor for a paycheck and you are going to hate every single day of your life, I have a problem with that. If you are going to be a police officer and you're doing it for a paycheck, but you hate every single day of your life, I have a problem with that. They're both amazing jobs. They take a lot of discipline to obtain. These type of jobs that people go to school for, they're not easy. They're not just a job because it's like a cookie cutter type of job. It's not just something that you can just get no problem. You have to go through a lot of school, there's a lot of discipline, there's a lot of sacrifice that's involved, and it's very cool if it's something that you want to do. But the problem is we have a whole family of medical, and then you have a child born who has no interest in medical. We have a whole family of lawyers, and then a child's born and they have no interest in being a lawyer, but they still do it because it's what the family expects. It's kind of like being a Niner or a Raider fan. It's like most people are born into the fan they are. And sure, down the line they may change their mind, but it's something that they're born into and they just accept it. And then there's people who are like, I don't want to accept this because I'm unhappy. I want to do something else. And you're probably in that category. That's why I wanted to talk to you about that today. I wanted to let you know that I think it is the most important thing to do. Let's back this up a tiny bit. Most important thing to do, something that fulfills your life, and that looks like something that will bring you happiness. We have to think about all the people who have paved the way in this world and how many times there were people around them that they loved, that they cared about, that didn't believe in them. I was watching an interview, and Will Smith was on this interview, and he was talking, and he said something that really stirred up a fire inside of me. I heard it and I was so inspired, and I hear a lot of like inspirational stuff because that's what I listen to. I listen to a lot of different podcasts. I listen to a lot of different YouTubers, a lot of different speakers. And so I do get a lot of inspirational content to help motivate me. He said, you can't wait for somebody to think you can do it, because nobody thinks you can do anything they can't do. You have to be fearless and you have to be relentless. Now, when he said this, I was like, I didn't really understand what he meant by that at first. I was like, what does he mean by that? He's literally saying like, nobody almost is going to believe in what you do until you do it, until they see like fruit from all the labor and work you put in. And it just began to resonate with me so much, because even though I have very, very like some of the most supportive family and friends, like anytime I venture into something, which I venture into a lot of things, anytime I venture into something, they follow me, they support me, they tell me I'm doing a great job, all of that good stuff. But it's a little bit different to think that I can succeed in something and to want me to succeed in something. And we all have these subtleties. There's nothing against the people who have these subtleties. It's more of like coming from a loving way. I want to make sure that what you're doing because I care about you is the right thing. That's really, I feel like, the place people come from when they say these things. But there's subtleties like, so what do you think about being a lawyer? What do you think about being a nurse? What do you think about being a doctor? What do you think about being a police officer? And you're like, yeah, I don't really want to do that. And they're like, oh, well, what about if you do this and then do this? Or these are the people that always want to recommend a plan B. And one of the hardest parts about plan Bs is it really makes you lazy with plan A. And most of the time for plan A to work, you almost have to be pushed into a corner because you're doing something so different than anybody else is doing. And that's why this Monday, I wanted to talk about this, because this is something that is discouraging for a lot of people, and you end up working a job that you actually don't want to work. We need to chase the dreams that are gonna bring us true happiness, because it's gonna be better for us and everybody around us. The problem is most of the people that you want to approve of what you're wanting to do aren't going to fully until you've already been consistently doing it. We can't expect people to support what we want to venture into at first. We just can't, because what you're doing, what you want to do, like, they're probably monumental things. And let's just be real, people sit in reality too often, and they don't let their creative, imaginative side really stretch them into thinking that they can do more than they see everybody else doing. So if everybody else is working a 9 to 5, going to school to become one of the jobs we just talked about, that's most likely what they're gonna think you're capable of and they're capable of. But when you're like, hey, I wanna run a 6-figure business on top of owning multiple houses and renting them here, and you're talking about a huge business plan, something super entrepreneurial, or you wanna stream and play video games online, or become a YouTuber, or do all of these things that not a ton of people are doing, then your family's like, well, maybe you should try it and see how it goes, but ultimately I think you should go back to school to be whatever, right? And that is the most common response. Like I said, it's most likely out of love, but that is the most common response. I don't want you to be rude to anybody, but I do want you to silence all the people who say you can't, even if it's your family, even if it's your friends. And the reason why is because when you can create, there's something that Gary Vee said about this, basically talked about like creating a Charlie Brown experience for all of the times where people, like, people are gonna say you can't do something, and it'll help you push forward. Because the truth is, guys, is sometimes you have to be your own motivation by pure determination. Like, you have to think to yourself, this is what I aspire to do, and I'm going to do it. There's nobody that's gonna stop me from doing it. And sure, people are gonna support you once you finally get to a place where it's a little bit more successful, a little bit more grown and stable. But in the very beginning, you're most likely gonna be doing this all by yourself. Now, that isn't for everybody. That's why so many people don't succeed in doing this, is because a lot of people lose heart halfway, 3/4 of the way, almost all the way into doing this, simply because they want people to approve, they want people to support them, and they care too much about what everybody else around them is doing and thinking. And really, when it comes down to something like this, your dreams, something that is huge in your life, a lot of people aren't going to support it at first. That's just the truth. What I want you to understand is it wasn't easy for anybody who has paved the way. Let's think real quick. Let's think about Elon Musk. When he told one of his close friends or his family the first time about a car that drives itself, what do you think their response was? Do you think they were like, oh my gosh, that's just amazing, I just can't wait, that's so cool? I mean, maybe they did jokingly, but I'm sure he was made fun of. I'm sure that he was ridiculed, even if it wasn't in public, it was in people's minds where they're like, oh my gosh, here Elon goes with another one of these ideas. I mean, look at Alexander Graham Bell. Think about when he was talking about the telephone before there was a telephone. He was saying, check it out. You're gonna be in one state and they're gonna be in another state, and you guys are gonna be able to talk to each other. And that person's like, Alexander, please be a doctor. I don't know what you're talking about. I understand kind of what you are trying to do, but be a doctor. Look at Thomas Edison when he's talking about, dude, I'm gonna be able to contain light in a bulb, and wherever we put a socket, we're gonna be able to have light. People are like, bro, I don't know what you're smoking over here. Well, pass it over here. I'm just kidding. But really, guys, like these ideas, like if your ideas don't sound crazy to other people and people are so on board to support what you're doing right off the bat, maybe you're not dreaming big enough. Because think about these guys. I mean, think about Steve Jobs when he was talking about the Apple family he wanted to create, and how, guys, we're gonna be able to drag files seamlessly from your phone to your TV to your laptop to your PC, and everything is gonna be held in this thing called the cloud. And nobody's gonna have to have physical storage units for their stuff. We're gonna have them somewhere else, but everyone's gonna be able to download their things all completely digital. What do you think people said about that? The cloud? Really, Steve? Come on, bro, get a grip. But guess what? These guys still did these amazing things. They literally changed the world with things they invented. Now, I'm not saying that you have to invent something, but what I am saying is your dreams are so tangible. You just have to get into the right perspective, and you have to get into the right mindset. And that main mindset is gonna be, unfortunately, you're gonna have to stop worrying about what the people around you are saying and just do it. Well, I don't wanna keep rambling, but I do wanna say that this Monday to next Monday, I want you to think. I want you to think really hard about what brings you joy, what you're good at, and I want you to start putting things together and think about, man, maybe a doctor, maybe a police officer, maybe that is your dream job, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing. But the only time it's a bad thing is when you are pressured to live your one life that you have doing something that you aren't passionate about, something that's not gonna actually bring you happiness. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the paycheck you get from those jobs will not bring you happiness. Happiness is not found in money. Now, when we have more money, sometimes we can be happier because we have less problems, essentially, but money at its core will not bring you happiness. So if you're doing these things, you're going to school and you're doing all this stuff for a paycheck, and you can't think of any other reasons why you might be doing this stuff, you probably shouldn't be doing it. You probably should be really digging deep and saying, hey, what do I love doing? What am I good at? What would be my dream job? And really go for it. If there's nobody in your life right now that believes in you or has said they believed in you, or they said they believed in you and you just didn't believe them, I'm letting you know right now, I believe in you. I know that you can do this. I'm gonna do this. There's other people before us who have done it. Like, This is so possible. You just have to put in the work. You have to realize that it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna feel lonely a lot of the time, but you're gonna get to a place eventually where it's gonna be worth it, and you have to think about every single day. For you to be happy every single day doing something you love doing is gonna be worth it by itself. Let's say that whatever you decide to do isn't gonna make you millions. That's fine. It doesn't have to make you millions. It just has to make you happy. So think about that this week. And I would love to hear down in the comments below some of the things that you guys want to do but are too afraid to do. And I really appreciate you guys being here. I really appreciate every single time you guys come to a video, every single time you guys leave stuff in the comments. All the links you guys need to reach me will be down below. I would love to talk to you guys offline. Yeah. I hope you guys continue to dream big. I hope you guys are very blessed. I hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Hi, my name's Rufio, and I'm super feisty because because I'm just a little kitty. This is our newest adopt. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, all right. Have big dreams or have big nightmares. Your choice. Not everyone understands what it means to be a dreamer. But you and I, we understand. Just around the river bend, I'll chase my dreams. Just around the river bend, beyond the shores.